What's up, everybody? Welcome to Crossroads, that podcast for the Boss Rush Network. Yes, the Crossroads podcast, because I was about to screw it up again.
That was the best way to start this.
Oh, that's a hell, man.
I'm your host tonight. You know me. It's LeRon Dawkins. Hey, everybody. What's going on? Tonight, Austin has a night off, but we're joined, of course, by that man, Stoy.
How's it going?
He's got the debutante, the fake debutante laugh.
Yeah. I go into my local comic shop yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a comic series called The Last Ronin. It's a Ninja Turtles comic book series.
Is number 5 out yet, by the way?
No. I heard it was coming out next week. So I was like, well, I'm gonna pick up issue 4. And I didn't pick up issue 4 yet. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna pick it up. And I was like, hey, is it coming next week? And they're like, oh no, that got delayed back again. Like, till when?
Dude, it was supposed to come out in February. This is going way off the rails because I've been pissed about this one. I've already got the trade paperback pre-ordered. I'm gonna get my single issue and probably never touch them again and just read the trade paperback because it's taking so fucking long. Because it's really good.
No, it really is. And like, want a conclusion to the story.
I want to know what happens.
Yeah. Does Mikey do it?
Is issue 5 like the end of the series?
Yes, it's a 5-issue arc.
Yep.
Okay.
They've bullshitted for almost 2 years. They've put out 4 really great issues. I think it's been like every 2 months or something like that, if that, because it's been like staggered randomly. They're like, oh no, here's one.
Yeah.
4 months later, randomly when you show up your box, oh, here's another.
And we're giving you like 8 variant copies. 8 variant covers. Oh my god.
There's like 32. Some of them are worth thousands of dollars because they're drawn by the guy who does Rick and Morty.
Yeah,
like, dumb stuff. I had one of them. I had one of the random variants. There's just so many.
Yeah, there really are. Yeah, I think you're right. There is at least 30, and they're only sold by some of them are only sold like exclusively by particular comic book shops.
Yep,
like only that comic book shop has it.
It's a pain in the ass. You can order those offline though, and this is for anybody who's listening at home, and this is for any local comic shop because fuck big chain anything. Walmart gets variants. Fuck them.
Yeah.
They monopolize anything as
Wait,
it is.
Walmart actually sells.
Walmart has.
I don't think I've ever walked through a Walmart and seen a comic book.
That's because they're bundled at the front where the random like toy kind of random shit is, like Magic the Gathering cards. They put them up there, but they do variants. They did a variant for High Republic #1, which was highly sought after because you couldn't fucking find it because it's in a goddamn Walmart and they get fucked up. Mm-hmm. So it's like at a 9.8, it's like $200 or something stupid like that because it's just it doesn't happen. That's why I'm saying go to your local comic shops, even those bigger ones like Mile High Comics out in Denver. It's a big store, but it's still locally owned. It's not a big chain, so frequent those ones.
Yeah,
they did the same thing with Stray Dogs, where there's a million covers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Sorry to like derail that.
Yeah,
but it annoys me.
Oh, that's part of the conversation. Part of the conversation.
By the way, that nerd that was talking, that's Mr. Huckleberry, Chris Drew.
Mr. Huckleberry.
Looks like he's freshly shaved his head too. Like it looks like that.
It's very clean.
Looks like that's maybe 1 or 2 days clean.
That's from last night. I was hitting that hobo look real hard, and I just couldn't I couldn't stand it.
Now, Chris, I've known you for a good while now, and you let me
15 years,
and you let me know if this is going to be a sensitive topic. When did you start to lose your hair? Because when I saw the last time I saw you in person was at you and your wife's wedding. And I don't think you had quite started like.
Nope, I was bald at the wedding.
That was the last time you saw him,
in person. We got married in 2017.
Yeah,
and then COVID happened a couple years later. He lives down the street. He just doesn't call. He never.
I don't know if it's down the street. But your house is like the COVID house. Like how many times y'all had COVID?
3.
Exactly.
We didn't have COVID in 2018.
Why the fuck would I come there? Even though I've gotten 4 damn shots, why the fuck would I come there?
Why'd you get a 4th one? Jesus,
just to be sure.
The two
taking it from the 50-year-olds.
The two and I'm double boosted.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think I need to get my second booster. So there's some dude, and if you're afraid of the vaccine, by the way, this message is for you. There was some dude in Germany, I think, that got like 93 total because he was trying to get vaccination cards to forge them to sell them to anti-vaxxers. So he got the shot like 93 times.
Why the fuck?
For science.
For science.
Do
you understand how stupid people are? That dipshit in Florida is trying to pick a fight with Disney. Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Their lawyers have lawyers, and they're the best lawyers.
It's Disney.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Going back to the comic conversation, if you haven't read Stray Dogs, Stoy, you should. They're wonderful.
I'm gonna write that one down. I'm getting into I Am Batman, the I Am Batman series, because that's one has Jace Fox, Lucius Fox's son, taking on the role as Batman, and
that's cool.
Yeah, and then there was like I finally found it, the book of Batman, the Three Jokers.
Yep.
Where there's like actually, Batman's actually like trying to kill three Jokers. It's pretty cool so far.
Yep, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, it's think Lady and the Tramp meets Seven. It's drawn like a Lady and the Tramp meets Seven. It's drawn like a Disney movie.
Okay,
it's pretty good.
Cool.
Now what are we going to talk about?
LeRon, where are you going to segue now?
I have no clue. I was going to ask you guys how your evening was going, your week or whatever.
I'm a school teacher.
I'm in school and I hate school. I don't know why people go to school. Stupid.
See, I would like to be in school. I like to learn. You tell me anything, I'll just listen to you talk. But
I mean, I like to learn, but I don't like to learn.
There's been times I thought about going back to school. I never actually did the college experience, and like sometimes I wonder,
it's too late for that.
He's gonna be out there back to school. What are you gonna do, Rodney Dangerfield?
I'm turning.
How do you do, fellow kids?
I'm turning fracking 47 in less than 2 months.
I got a 6-pack of IPAs, and I'm ready to party. I can only drink 2 of them because of my indigestion.
You make fun of him, but I took a class in college. It was 20th Century Dictators, and it was taught by a man that was 80 years old. He was in World War II. He was a representative in the United States of America, like the coolest fucking dude on the planet. Mm-hmm. And he had groupies who were made up of other really old people. And they would come and they would just write down his stories, and they would be in every class, and they were like 90 years old. And there would be times when they would not come to class, and I'd be asking questions. Hey, where's Mabel or whatever? I didn't see her today.
Oh, sorry.
They're fine.
Well, maybe I shouldn't ask.
Wow.
Dude, one of the ladies was gone for like 2 weeks, and they were nice people. They were all really, really sweet. The older gentleman gave me one. He usually sold them. He gave it to me. They were great. I loved that class.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the best. I mean, as much as you can love a class that's on 20th Century Dictators.
I mean, that's
taking
cool.
a class on cool. Pretty much. It's super interesting. But you have to go into it knowing these guys are a bunch of assholes, like the worst kind of fucking people. Because it was on Stalin, Mao, Hitler, and Mussolini.
Yeah.
Yep.
There were at least some South American ones, right? At the time, who was running Nicaragua at the time?
I have no idea.
Franco
was in Spain.
Yeah, that's right.
The dude had literally he was a bomber pilot in the Pacific. His brother was a pilot, or he was in a plane. His brother died in World War II. Some dude had bailed out. It was some kind of ridiculous story. He was one of the first people to go to China.
Mm-hmm.
When as a representative, he went with Nixon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I have no idea if that man's still alive. That was 10 years ago.
Mm.
So what are you guys playing this week?
LeRon, segue.
I just kept talking because I didn't know what he was gonna do, and everybody's just. I was like, I don't want to leave void space. Segue to something.
Dead space on a podcast is bad.
All right, yeah. I guess we can go ahead and get started with that. So guys, what have you been playing this past weekend?
Chris, you want to go first?
Jesus Christ, I didn't play anything. My weekend was just fucking packed. Bodie's doing sports now, front to back. Saturday, Sunday, same. I had no time, but the weekend before, the week before for me was spring break, and I put 110 hours in Elden Ring, and I got all of the achievements. I beat it 3 times.
Wow!
I beat it.
Okay, so
I beat it once in 5 hours.
Here's the question: was it worth it?
It was.
Well, yeah, I would hope so.
I had to delete it because I was just going to keep playing. I liked it that much. I would have. I did everything. It took me so long to beat Millennia and Radigan. It took me 3 days to beat them the first time. But as soon as I figured it out and really had, because I still learned throughout the entire thing. And the buddy I played with a friend of mine who we kind of helped each other out when we needed it, at least on the first run. So I was playing catch up with him. I figured it out, and then it became easy. And so I dominated it the next 2 times, except for fuck Millennia. As soon as I got her ass, I never went back. I didn't even think about it again. I just never went back.
One and done.
Yeah, no, she was my neighbors know I beat her.
Yeah.
My son came running, and he's after all the profanity. Daddy, we don't say those fucking words. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
That's not.
Oh my god.
He was sitting down next to me, actually, trying to figure out what the hell was going on.
All right. So how many hours did you check your playtime? How many hours did you sink into that game? 110?
110.
Okay.
The first run took the vast majority of it. I had to grind. I think by the time I finished it, I was level 194. But like I said, I switched over a lot of my tactics. I started as a Vanguard. I ended up double wielding with the Rivers of Blood and Yukimbo, I think was the other one. And if you just jack up Arcane...
By the way...
Yep.
By the way, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Why?
I don't play the game.
I know, but people at home who are listening to me talk to, I'm not talking to you, LeRon, you selfish douche.
No. It's good. It's good that you're doing this for the gamers out there, for the Elden Ring gamers out there. You already know how.
Are you saying you just don't care about what he's talking about in general, even if he does thoroughly enjoy it?
No, he never cares. He doesn't give a shit about it.
No.
I'm a warm body to him.
That's all you're good for, I guess.
I do care. I just don't care about Elden Ring itself. Like, I
didn't think I would either, and I fucking loved that game. I could still play it if I didn't delete it off my hard drive.
I thought I already explained myself about these types of games. Like, if I want to punch babies and kick puppies and drown kittens and stuff, I'll just go play Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the Super Nintendo.
I was telling my kids about that game
or
today.
Battletoads versus Double Dragon.
Yep. Yeah,
which is getting re-released on Nintendo today. Did you guys see that?
What?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's kind of funny that you bring that up.
By the way, did you hear about this could be leak that's going to happen with Nintendo Switch Online?
No.
Well, it's like Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games are rumored to be officially coming.
Ooh, that's fun.
So it's like that's what the hell they should have brought out before they brought this Nintendo 64 stuff out.
And they're going to make you pay a subscription for it.
Out of here.
Oh yeah, they're going to make you pay for it. Yeah.
No, subscription for it. Subscription for it.
Yeah, the subscription.
Like,
the subscription.
I don't mind. I wouldn't mind like Virtual Console days paying for the game and then having it on my hard drive and having it be there no matter what. But for a subscription service, get out of here with that. That's why the whole like PlayStation Now thing. Ugh. I kind of thought about it after our episode, and I was like, I don't like subscription services. That's why I like how Xbox does it, where it's like, you got a physical copy of the game? There you go, put it in and play. Or you want to buy it digitally? Yeah, you can buy it digitally.
I appreciate that too. That's why I'm all about emulators. That's exactly why. That's why I'm all about it.
Yeah, but
and it's not. And, it's not even about like not paying for the games, because I know I triggered like 2/3 of the gaming community as soon as I said emulators. It's not even about not paying for the games. It's the fact that you should always have the opportunity. Well, as long as the game is playable, because let's think about this. Some of those games that they put out there on Nintendo Switch Online or whatnot is not in the best.
Perfect example.
Is not in the best shape, and stuff like that. And it's one of those situations where like if people buy it, enough people say, hey, there's something wrong with this game, people are going to stop buying it, and it's going to tell whoever these publishers and developers are, hey, get your shit together or nobody's going to buy your product,
So years ago, I think back when you and I worked together at the place that will not be named, they released a remastered version of Turtles in Time. And unless you have the PlayStation that you bought it on and downloaded it on and it stayed there, you do not have that game anymore. Like, I can't go play that game. I paid money for that, and I can't play the game that I paid money for.
Well, if I'm not mistaken,
is annoying.
If I'm not mistaken, that game was bad though.
I loved it. It didn't matter to me. It was Turtles in Time.
Still, hey,
it's Turtles in Time, but it also wasn't the Turtles in Time everybody wanted.
LeRon, I hate to derail you here, but you ain't got no waveforms in Zencaster. What's up with that?
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure about that.
It's picking me up just fine on mine.
Oh, okay, cool. So long as it's good on your end.
I don't have any on mine either, but like Stoy said.
All right, so circling back real fast, Chris, like what was your biggest takeaway from your run in Elden Ring?
I think it's really gonna elevate the next games that come after it. I think it did a lot of things really, really right. I think they got the game 100. They did. I don't know. I can't think of any patch. I know they patched it for like little things, but they released a complete game. There wasn't like a half complete game. They're like, hey, here's a piece of dog shit we're gonna polish the fuck out of, and maybe it'll be okay later. But we want you to take a $60 chance on that now. So I felt really, really good about that.
I love how you said that. I do, like, because
because that's going to segue into the game I've been playing the last few days.
Cyberpunk.
Right, so
I actually you brought up Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and I actually talked about that this week before we segue out of This Doesn't Make Sense. This week I had my kids play Oregon Trail because that's what I'm teaching is that. So the kids are playing Oregon Trail, and I was like, yeah, none of y'all are going to make it to the end, so I don't know what kind of trash y'all are talking. And they were like, yeah, no, that's ridiculous. I said, it's going to go out of its way to kill you. You're all going to get typhus.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen. All of them. I had two students at the end of the day finish, and they were like, it's just really hard. I don't understand. And I was like, yeah, that's because games when I was a kid were hard.
Yeah.
Go play Super Ghouls and Ghosts, right? And kids don't understand. Like, they don't make that connection. They think like Elden Ring is supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be frustrating.
Elden Ring. I'll put it like this: Elden Ring is modern day gaming hard.
It's frustrating.
Yeah,
it's not hard.
It's modern day gaming hard because, like, back in the day, back when I was a kid gamer and stuff like that, like, some of it was manufactured difficulty, but a lot of it was just the imperfections of the game itself. The game and the hardware you were playing on, stuff like that. Like, shit, remember playing certain NES games, and if more than 7 characters on the screen, like the game drops to like 9 frames a second.
Those are the days.
Yeah, honestly, like, I remember playing like games like Gradius and and all that stuff, and like when all those bullets showed up, like, that was actually a godsend because it slowed down the action enough to where you actually had that Matrix vision where you could see through everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Chris. About Elden Ring, Game of the Year worthy?
I think so. It's my Game of the Year thus far. I'm gonna start trying to get back into to Ghostwire Tokyo, and I'm gonna follow that up with Tiny Tina. I also have the next Devolver game. They put it out with I would think one of the State of Plays recently. I can't remember what it's called. I pre-ordered it already. That and Evil Dead. Those are the only games I have, and I don't see any of those games even touching it.
Devolver. I can't. I'm. It's not ringing a bell.
It's like a Japanese Western side scroller.
Is that Trek to Yomi?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
it.
All right.
I don't know. It's not jumping out enough at me yet. I'll keep my eye on it, but it's not jumping out at me enough. Not yet.
Devolver can do no wrong in my book.
Mm-hmm.
They've done. They've done good shit.
All right, Stoy.
Shit.
All right, Stoy, your turn.
Well, I've been playing Cyberpunk. a lot.
Okay.
Thankfully, they have that game mostly fixed. I would say 90% of it is pretty much running spot on. I said it in the article that you wrote that, you know, sometimes there's a little like pedestrian glitches here and there, but that's, I think that kind of permeates in like a lot of like open world, you know, city games like this. You know, I mean, those are always rampant in Assassin's Creed games, and no one bats an eye. So, you know, it's one of those things like, okay, you'll see a ghost car driving down the street, and it'll be like, you know, someone sitting there like in air driving, or you'll see like weird pedestrians kind of like clipping through walls and stuff like that. But it's no big deal. It doesn't like take me out of the game because for the most part, you know, combat's solid. I'm not going through glitches or anything like that, or like game breaking bugs. And I'm playing on the Series X, so I was
just about to ask.
I have the kind of the next gen upgrade, so to speak, and that game looks mighty fine. I got to give them props, man. That city that they designed, dude, it's a good looking game and it's gorgeous to look at.
Night City is fucking awesome, man. You know, like honestly, I've done the same thing you've done. I just sat there on the street and just looked, you know, like like that area where you meet Jackie at between those missions, and he's like eating the freaking ramen and stuff. Like I sat there, you know, and just checked out the city. And the crazy part is like, you know, this is after you get that this is after you get that one upgrade, where you can basically start tripping, like, you know, like different like scenarios and stuff, where basically you
brain
can
dance.
cause like there you go, brain dance. Yeah, because it's been a little while, and man, just sitting there and just watching, like, sometimes the crime just unfolds for no fucking reason.
Yeah,
you just sit there and spectate. Because as long as you don't draw your weapon, like, the cops aren't going to mess with you.
No, yeah, pretty much. I mean, and there's like shootouts happening everywhere in the city. Like, you'd be walking around, and I think I remember I was like sneaking into one area, and like, you know, there was like a huge, massive like gun battle going on right outside. I'm trying to sneak around, you know, and like there's like, you know, a big gunfight at the OK Corral happening outside. I'm trying to be stealthy here, guys. But no, yeah, the side content is really where this game shines, and I really kind of, I mean, part of me feels bad for CD Projekt Red for like not making this game be a banger on day one, because I think so many people are missing out on this game, because I was patient enough. Like, I played it for a few hours when it first came out, and I was like, I can't take it. I'm just gonna wait until it's mostly fixed, and I waited a year and a half for this game to be fixed, and now it's fixed. And it's in good working condition, good working order. They patched it enough times that it's a hell of a different game than when I played it the first time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Andromeda all over again.
Well, Andromeda they fixed a lot quicker. You know, there wasn't much really that was broken with Andromeda that they couldn't fix within like a couple months. You know, and right now jumping back into it, it's in working order. I've heard so many people, like at least on Twitter and YouTube and everything like that, kind of changing their perspective to say, like, you know what, Andromeda wasn't a bad game. You know, granted, they did have some things to fix, but BioWare came out and fixed it quickly. Whereas, you know, CD Projekt Red had a massive task on their hands.
Well, yeah. I also think like a lot of people when they talk about Andromeda, because like I see a lot online where everybody's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Andromeda. Andromeda's a great game. It's like, bitch, stop trying to gaslight us. We know what us day oneers know exactly what was up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's like I said, it's good now. And you know, if you were to buy Cyberpunk right now, it's a solidly run game. The side content, the stories in the game are so well done and so well written and so well paced. And just, you know, like I said, I don't even know what the main mission is anymore now. I've just been picking up side quest after side quest after side quest, and just like people calling me up and like, hey, I hear you fix things. Come to my place and fix my problem. And then
I haven't even beaten the game, and I don't know what the main mission was.
The one quest that I had was like, this guy wanted to crucify himself on live TV.
I just wouldn't do that.
Okay, all right.
I guess if you're going to do it, like, wait,
Chris, you've never played Cyberpunk?
I played just the beginning, and also I was thinking like Jesus, not like, because you know there's multiple ways of crucifixion.
No. This is full on. This is full on. Like, this guy wanted to literally be nailed to a cross. So the story with this side quest is this guy gets out of jail, and you pick up a contract to assassinate him. Like he's in a prison transport, and the family of one of the victims wanted him dead. They were like, he can't be free. We want him dead. So you go to kill him, and then you find out he's actually being taken out of jail because he's atoned for his sins and wants to, purify his soul. And apparently that means crucifying himself and then having it be filmed. Yeah, having it be filmed like a brain dance so people can live the experience of a crucifixion, of him losing his. Yeah. So you can make the decision to like be like, fuck this is all bullshit, crazy, whatever. But like on the other hand, he's like, but I trust you. It's like, you just met me and you want me to drive stakes into your arms? Get out of here.
Like, yeah, I guarantee you Stoy probably thought about it for like 20 whole seconds, like, okay.
No, I did, because like you go there, and like he's all like, okay, yes, I want you to be the one to drive the nails in, and I'm like, man, I don't want to do that, but okay, fine, I guess you trust me. So like you grab the nails, you hit the X button to say hammer away, bam, you hit it once.
Wait, hold on, how cyberized was this guy? Like how much cybernetics did he have?
0. He was pure.
Oh, he was pure.
Pure.
Ooh,
no cybernetics.
That dude was hardcore.
Yeah, he dead. But yeah, so it was like in this scenario, I hit the stake once through his hand, and he screams, and I'm like, nah, man, this is bullshit. I can't do this. So like I was just like, I'm out. So like you hit the button to say like, I can't do this anymore, and like 2.2 milliseconds after I say that, one of the computer AI people like comes up behind me and it's like, I got this, and just starts wailing on him. Bam, 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 bam. I was like, damn, that was quick.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. No, okay, this is easy. I did this on Wednesday.
That's exactly how he came up. All of a sudden, you were like, I just can't do this.
Maxwell.
That guy is already grabbing the hammer and nails. He's like, I got this. Bam, 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 bam. So yeah. Anyway.
Oh man.
No. So.
Oh man.
What all the stories in Cyberpunk are trying to tell you is that humans are fucked up. Yeah. Yes. They're depraved. They're narcissistic. They are just, brutal, not only to themselves, but to other people, and that's kind of what I've been experiencing in Night City, is like kind of hearing the stories, reading the codex entries. There's, all these crazy side stories, not only about that, but about like serial killers, about mind control and possession and stuff, and even just like gang violence and warfare of like people just like not giving a shit about others. So it's like, I think it's kind of like a social commentary hidden underneath there, but it's still cool like to experience it. So I'm if Cyberpunk came out when it did in this condition, I think it would have been game of the year. I honestly think that.
I really want to try out the Cyberpunk tabletop games.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Wow, I'm mad at this.
What a way to derail the conversation there.
No. You're talking about how like it's basically like like an expose on how people are and stuff like that. And I'm wondering what the literal source material has.
Well, I likened it to the social commentary behind The Walking Dead, for example. If you give people nothing, what are they going to do? They're just going to take and take and take and take from everybody, and they're not going to give a shit who they're taking it from. They're just going to take and take and take to feed their own selfish needs. Now, think of the opposite. You give people everything they want. You give them the ability to have a perfect body, to have the ability to do so many crazy things, so many different things, and the ability to like go out there and experience anything that you want. That's what drives people crazy. You give people too much freedom, and you give people too much of a good thing almost. It's like hedonism times like 3,000. So
okay,
that's what I see. I don't know. Maybe I'll write I was thinking about writing an editorial for the website about it. I don't know. We'll see.
I think you should. That was my suggestion. Okay, well,
I was waiting because you were chewing, and I was like, "Is he going to say something?"
I didn't know. I was just.
I thought you were actually That's your accent. I keep going.
Okay.
well, I actually purchased Deathloop. I purchased it Friday for PC because it was on like a mega sale. Like I got for like $25.
Mega sale.
Yeah.
Sunday.
So I got it and I installed it Friday night, and then never got a chance to play it at all this weekend because like this weekend just seemed to be like the weekend that everybody wants to like be over at my place and party and stuff like that. So
bringing IPAs to your house.
yeah, pretty much. Yep. Yeah, it was going back and forth between
penny loafers.
It was going back and forth between IPAs, shots, and wine. So yeah, it was an interesting weekend.
Hey, I got this really nice triple hop IPA. It's a citrus and mosaic hops in it, and it's a IBU of 70. Is that how they sounded?
Nah. You know what? The cool thing about my friends is like they like microbrews and like local stuff, but at the same time, like I don't hang out with a bunch of freaking beer snobs and you're gonna tell me like the history of where the wheat and the barley and all that shit came from and all this stuff. It's like, dude, does it taste good?
But it doesn't taste good if you don't know absolutely whose asshole it was grown in. I'm like, how do you not have to know who that guy is?
I'm like, does it taste good? Am I gonna get buzzed after drinking 3 of them? That's all I need to know.
I mean, some IPAs taste like asshole.
I was just about to say that some IPAs absolutely do taste like ass.
I mean, I'm one that likes IPAs, but
for a second there,
you just
for a second there, I thought you were gonna say I'm one of those guys that like assholes. For a second there,
man,
I want you to go reach behind you in the gutter, pull your mind out of it. Okay, all right, get your mind out of there. All right, take it easy. We're trying to run a nice family podcast here. We're not talking about we're not talking about like
the Crossroads podcast.
We're not talking about drinking asshole flavored beer. Okay.
Every episode of the show that I've ever published has a not for kids explicit rating on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So basically Friday, Saturday night, was just basically, I just couldn't get anything done because like during the day on Saturday, of course, had to like straighten up the house and stuff, things like that. And then Sunday was the only day I really had to myself, and it was still more cleaning, more doing stuff. Did get to mess around and play some Monster Hunter Rise. A buddy of mine jumped on like, hey, I'm back on. Can you help me out? And I'm like, oh sure. What hunter rank are you? He's like 42, and I was like, dude, I'm like 279. like how long have you not been playing? So I actually got on, played a good handful of missions with him and stuff like that. So like once again, it was a weekend of gaming that I wanted to do that just didn't get done. But I did play Monster Hunter, so there's that.
Must be nice to not have kids or kid.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice.
Yeah. I don't have kids, but it seems like some of the friends I have, like they're big ass kids themselves. So it's like, I feel like I'm just babysitting.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably fair.
All right, fellas. I guess we can talk about the new games coming out this week. I just want to go ahead and apologize to everybody out there in Streamland right now. Usually I have everything like programmed up into my Stream Deck and stuff so you can see the names of the games and the dates and all that stuff. I didn't have a chance to do that. As a matter of fact, this show is literally going to be named the show with no show notes because if you haven't noticed yet, we're not sticking to a script.
Mm-hmm.
We're not. We're kind of just talking about everything.
To be fair, I've never been scripted for anything. Everything out of my mouth that's pure me.
Okay, when I say a script,
100% authenticity. That's what you expect for this show.
When I say a script, I mean just all of our talking points are there. Like the stuff that happens in between our talking points.
I mean, you do read a lot. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
What new games are coming out this week? It's been like a light couple of weeks. It seems since the end of March.
This is with the exception of maybe 2 titles on for this week. Like this is another light week. It's like the 3rd week in a row. Honestly,
what are the 2 titles?
Well, this week you've got Chernobyl Light coming out.
I'm sorry, what?
Chernobyl Light. Trust me, it's a game that everybody's been wanting.
Chernobyl Light.
Chernobyl Light. Yeah.
Like
Light.
Light. L-I-T-E.
Yeah, no, I got that part. It was the Chernobyl that I was struggling with.
Yeah.
Like the place with the
Chernobyl.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
What's that game about?
Hold on, I'll get there in a second.
I'm just saying.
And then the other game that some people had on the radar was MotoGP 22 is back. Is there? So yeah. So there you got that.
Is that the game with the bicycles?
Motorcycles.
Bicycles. They pedal.
See, Stoy's gonna no. Stoy, you can curse him out anytime now.
Like Lance Armstrong did some shit for that, right?
For MotoGP?
Yeah.
I don't think so. MotoGP is a freaking motorcycle racing. Like it's like the Grand Prix of motorcycle racing.
What?
Yeah.
I can keep this going forever.
Hang on. All right.
Wait.
I work at GameStop, bro. I know what MotoGP is.
I was about to say, am I being fucking trolled right now?
Yes.
See, this is how you get me to come to your house, because I'm going to come to your house and punch you in the face and kick you in the taint.
Can you pay a bill on your way out?
Looks like you beat me to saying the word taint today.
Hey, according to Stephanie, it needs to be said at least once an episode now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right. So here's everything that's coming out this week. The week of the
only thing I'm picking up is really MotoGP this week. That's
the only thing you're really picking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a motorcycle racing game. You waste motorcycles.
Yeah, so this is everything coming out for the week of April 18th to April 24th. Starting off today, there was a game called Winter Ember that came out on PS5 and PS4, as well as PC, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One. You also had Lego Builder's Journey for PS4 and PS5 and PC. Winter Ember, I'll just give you a recommendation. You might want to check it out. I saw a couple of videos on it and stuff like that. It's a stealth action game. Basically, you're the sole survivor of a massacre that devastated your family's legacy and tore them out of history books. I'm reading directly from the synopsis here. You're thought to be dead, but you emerge from exile 8 years later as a faceless man, kindled by the flame and seeking vengeance. It actually looks pretty good. Check out the trailers. You might want to pick it up. Coming out tomorrow on the 20th of April, we have Liberated, the Enhanced Edition for PS4 and also Xbox Series X and Xbox One, as well as Katana for Xbox One and PC. Before you think about anything, Katana is another one of those like Candy Crush games where if you look at the cover, the hero is apparently a cat ninja. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
On April 21st, we have Chernobyl Light, the Enhanced Edition for PS5 and PC and Xbox Series X. Chernobyl Light is the brand new game from the creators of the critically acclaimed Get Even series. Actually, I don't think it's a series. I think it's a game. Chernobyl Light is a science fiction survival horror experience mixing the free exploration of its disturbing world with challenging combat, unique crafting, and nonlinear storytelling. You play as a physicist, one of the Chernobyl power plant's ex-employees, and investigate the mysterious disappearance of your beloved. Try to survive and reveal the contamination zone's twisted secrets. Remember, the military presence is not your only concern. Basically, Chernobyl Light is probably best described as another survival horror game where the bad guys are, not just the military and other human beings, but also things that have been contaminated by radiation and brought to life. So there's your big get if you're interested. Check out some info on it, things like that. Check out some videos. Like it's actually looks pretty sick. Also we have MotoGP 22 coming out for PS5, PS4, PC, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One. All you gotta know is that more than 70 historical writers, are coming to compete in one of the biggest racing experiences for gaming. If you're into motorcycles, that's what I can say. That's the best way I can say it. You've also got Galactic Wars EX for PS5, PS4, PC, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One. Also, Samurai Bringers coming out for PS4 and PC. Anucard on Xbox One, and then there's a game called Lumo: The Master Moat Chronicles for PS4, PC, and Xbox One. And then lastly, on April 22nd, so Chernobyl Light's on here again, but on the 21st, the enhanced edition comes out. Basically, for people who already had Chernobyl Light, because this looks like it was on last gen. Yeah. For people who already had last gen, the enhanced edition is the upgrade. So basically, the next gen upgrade version, and so the rest of console gaming that did not get Chernobyl Light will be getting it, which is PS5, PS4, and Xbox One. And then I wish Austin was here tonight. By the way, Austin has a night off from Crossroads. He's making money in the real world, so yeah, much power to him. But I wish he was here tonight because there's a game on this list for the April 22nd called Ayo the Clown. All right, this is coming out for PS5, PS4, PC, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One. You know what? Eventually, I'm just going to get to the point where I'm just saying it's coming out for all systems. And when I say all systems, I don't mean the Switch.
Just add Switch to the end of it.
Yeah. But I saw the trailer for this game, and God, it's something. It's a cutesy game. It is. It's one of those games. In Ayo's hometown, things are generally peaceful. Accompanied by his talented circus dog Bo, Ayo is not your not so average clown that juggles in the park, hangs out in the carnival, and longs after Shoemaker's granddaughter until one day Bo goes missing.
Sounds like those video games from the 90s.
This
grandma bought you because she knew you had a Super Nintendo.
This kind of reminds me of man, who's ever playing this game is bad. This kind of reminds me of like Little Big Planet.
Yeah, the way it looks, yeah, it does.
Yeah. The way it kind of looks and plays and stuff like that. I mean, it's terrifying, like just looking at the character, but yeah.
I never want to see him. I just want only Stoy's description of him.
Okay.
Yeah. So
this is pretty much Little Big Planet.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Like I said, it's a cutesy game. There's a niche. There's an audience for this. That's why games like this come out. Stuff like that. I'm not dissing it. But
yeah, it actually looks like it would be kind of solid. Like I mean, it's a pretty simple game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A complete list of the upcoming games for PlayStation systems as well as PC and Xbox can all be found on our website, which is bossrush.net. And please note, release dates are always subject to change, so don't get mad at us if something gets
No, I want you to get mad at us. I want you to get mad.
We want fucking hate mail.
You know what? Yeah. I want that. I want you to email us. I want you to come onto the chat, message us, and tell us how big a piece of shit liars we are for giving you wrong information because some game has been delayed. I want it. Come on. Bring it.
Please do.
Please do.
Come to my house.
Yes.
And what will we say when this happens?
What did the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap. A throwback for you.
All right, so
at least that way I can tell them in person they're fucking annoying.
Yeah.
You know what? Out of all these games that are actually on this list this week, Winter Ember does have my eye, but I think I'm gonna go with Galactic Wars EX. It's basically I mentioned earlier about games like Gradius and stuff like that. That's basically what this is. It's just a throwback retro shooter game, and I've always loved those. Like I don't play enough of them. Was there anything jumping out at you, Chris, this week that you might?
Clown. It sounds really fucked up. I don't know.
I actually may. Chris?
I'm waiting for it.
I always loved my Huffy as a kid.
Yeah, I'll bet you did.
Can you get pegs on them? Like, can you ride around with your friends? Like, is it
yes.
This is like a simulator?
They do have pegs on them.
Jesus Christ.
You can have a buddy sit on the back of them if you want to.
Okay, we're gonna
wait. So wait, do you ride nut to butt or like is he standing?
No, it's nut to nut because we're talking about balancing ratio.
One of these, gotcha.
The bikes are particularly balanced. The center of gravity is like right in the middle, so you need the other rider like kind of like nut to nut, like sitting like this. You know what I'm talking about? So
kind of like that Kanye West video, but on a Schwinn.
On a Schwinn.
On a bike seats.
I don't get that reference, but yeah.
The male
however
version
you
of,
imagine.
the male version of scissoring.
Yeah.
That's all you have to say.
Mushroom tip to mushroom tip.
Yeah, it's as it's flapping in the wind.
Yeah, exactly. When they go on turns and you get a good headwind.
I see what you did there.
This is a family podcast. Let's keep it.
Those were
Let's
the
keep it
sounds
level.
of my hands clapping at the really good jokes, not testicles tapping.
Yeah.
All right.
A bicycle built for two.
All right, everyone. We're going to go. We don't have a lot of news tonight. As a matter of fact, this is going to be more of like a banter episode for Crossroads and not so much news episode, because guess what? There was not a lot of freaking news that happened in the past 7 days since the last episode of Crossroads. So
It really was.
there you go.
Hey, testicle tanning is topical right now.
But
we were right there.
Oh my Jesus! No.
In nursing school, I just learned about the reproductive system.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Ooh, fun fact. Apparently, in women's ovaries, they shoot the eggs into the fallopian tubes and they catch them. I thought that was really fucking cool.
Yeah, it's like fimbrae.
That shit, and
fimbrae. That's what they're called. They're little fingers
on the planet.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Greg Abbott. It's throwing topical shit. I like to hijack this from time to time from LeRon and watch him squirm in the corner at the things that I say.
And do you know pre-ejaculate actually serves a purpose?
Does it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It actually cleanses out your urethra of urine.
Yeah.
Oh,
so you don't
that makes sense.
So you don't leak a little bit of urine and who you're having fun with. So
because
that
makes those peeking videos seems more sanitary.
Yeah,
because that ruins the environment that your sperm is going to wind up in.
Well, yeah, exactly. Too acidic. Exactly.
Yeah.
How many people came here looking to learn about video games and learn about the human body?
Zero people want. Everyone wants me to keep talking.
I think after 78 episodes, they know now.
Yeah.
I think they know.
Especially the people that know me know that. Yeah. I talk about taint. I talk about taint.
Well, I know for sure I'm not going to be able to ever notate a timestamp here to get to our next topic.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
What is the scientific word for the taint? Is it like perineum or something like that?
Perineum, depending on what part of the country you're from.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. It's the little fleshy bit in between your butthole and your pee hole.
I swear. It's like they see me move my hand over with my pen and they just know to start talking again.
No, okay, all right, let's talk about it. Let's go with the episode.
Testicles. Chesticles. Spectacles.
Okay.
I'm done. That was the last one.
Stoy knows this. Good night, everybody. This has been the Crossroads podcast. We want to thank you all for listening.
Come on, everybody. You all know you all played the penis game when you were in high school.
You mean the sword fight game where everybody stands and pees in the same place?
No. Just like you're in a public area and you yell penis back and forth to each other, and whoever yells it the loudest
can get loudest.
Yeah.
I have no shame, so people would be like, they walk up to me like, penis, and I'd be like, penis, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you already won. All right then.
I ruin games because I like to win.
Too competitive.
Yeah.
Okay. For real now.
Hey, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that a movie adaptation is in the works for Streets of Rage?
I did not.
Yeah. Story and I knew about it. Story actually wrote an article about it.
Yeah.
A great segue.
Yeah, according to Deadline, Sega is planning on bringing another one of their long-running series to the big screen, being Streets of Rage.
Please do. Dude, the Sonic movies are great. My son loves them. He's super into Sonic. Both those the things they've done with those films, they play to me, they play to him. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. I didn't even play the Streets of Rage games really like that. But I'll go see that movie.
I want this to be rated R.
Me too.
I really do.
Well, it probably will be, considering that Derek Kolstad, who's the writer of the John Wick series and the movie Nobody, has practically penned the script.
Yep.
See, I wanted Sonic to be rated R, but
how could they make that? How could they make that rated R?
Hey, listen, he could have said fuck instead of meow, right?
Yeah. I mean, Knuckles could have been cursing all throughout the whole. He's edgy like that.
Yeah.
Knuckles was my favorite part of that whole damn movie. God, I loved him so much.
Yeah, no, it's such a good film. ... I took Bodie to see that. Just me and him we went early in the morning, and he had like the best time, and like I felt like the best dad. It was awesome.
Hell yeah!
I hadn't seen the movie yet because I hadn't seen the first one yet. So
what?
Well, coincidentally, actually, going back to the story, is that the same production studio that made the Sonic movies is actually going to be producing this one.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
good.
And before you have another aneurysm on the show, Chris, if you were here last week, you would have learned that I have a very good distrust of video game movies.
Which makes sense because we've all seen Super Mario Brothers, which I actually enjoy because it came out when I was a lot younger. It's more nostalgic for me. I
didn't enjoy that movie when I was a kid and was into that shit.
It came out in like 1993. In 1993, you would have been like
okay. In 1993, I was graduating.
I was 8.
This man, LeRon was graduating college in 1993.
In 93, I was graduating high school. But I will say this. I'm very immature for my age. Like people who
way.
People who know me in real life know this about me, and stuff like that. So yes, I still, as a 46-year-old man, watch freaking cartoons. And when I say cartoons, I don't mean anime. And I don't mean like going to the movie theater and watching whatever Disney cranks out. I'm talking about like I will turn on Cartoon Network
and watch up on Saturday mornings with his bowl of cereal and his onesie.
You don't understand.
With his Apple Jacks.
You don't understand. You don't. You think this is a fucking game? Yes, I used to. When
you don't have to convince us. You don't have to.
No, I believe you. I don't think this is a game, LeRon.
No,
look,
I
don't.
Look,
guys, I'm just trying to make this show more entertaining.
No, it's scary. This is not a safe place.
I need an adult.
Yeah, but no, if you've been here, like I said, if you've been here last week though, like we had an entire basically crossroads section, just nothing but video game movies, and we talked about like a lot of hits and misses, as far as like video game movies are concerned, as well as like where our temperature is at on like how movies, based off video game franchises are and stuff like that.
Yeah.
General consensus from all of us, including Stephanie, was like they're trash.
There are 3 good video game movies.
Let's hear it.
Detective Pikachu. Sonic 1, Sonic 2. That's it. The rest of them are dog shit.
See, I don't know about Detective Pikachu because, like, I'm not moved by Pokemon.
But I don't give a shit if you're moved by Pokemon. I give a shit if it's a good movie. You didn't say, hey, does this movie cater solely to LeRon and whether or not he likes Pokemon? Let's make $1 billion movie on that. No, it was, is it a good film? And it was a good film.
Stoy, can you say that?
It wasn't catered to me, but I could see the appeal of why it would be to other people. I'm not a Pokemon fan either, but I was like, well, this is well done and well produced and well written.
And that's what I enjoyed about it. Like, I'm not really big into Pokemon either. Like, when Pokemon came out, I was in middle school, so I got like the first wave. I got red and blue.
Yeah, I remember last week
I was too old for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember last week when we mentioned Detective Pikachu, the first thing I said was, "Oh, this is the movie that they had to get Ryan Reynolds and advertise it as a Ryan Reynolds film to get people to go watch it."
Well, it wasn't even that because he did such a good job.
Just like the Mario movie, for some strange reason, we got Chris Pratt advertised as Mario.
But Ryan Reynolds is good.
Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds has been solid since he did Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Shop. He's consistently been good.
Hold on, because I feel like Chris Pratt was like the shit too, and like some of the movies he did, like Zero Dark 30.
But no, he was not. But Chris Pratt wasn't Chris Pratt when Zero Dark 30 came out. Like it's been since I would argue since later seasons of Parks and Rec, even into Guardians of the Galaxy was when he got really, really big. He was not the leading guy. He was always a supporting role in whatever he was in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't even know he was in fucking Zero Dark 30 until somebody said it a couple weeks ago. And I'm not taking it because he has done good films.
You were the person that recommended me to watch that film. You didn't know that?
I've never seen Zero Dark.
Yeah, he was the dude that was playing horseshoes, and he's like, "So we're gonna go kill Bin Laden."
Yeah, we talked about this because we talked about it on this show.
Mm.
I didn't know he was in it, and to continue and round this out in video games. Yeah, that movie's gonna be dog shit. So Maybe Nintendo needs to look at what Sega's doing and be like,
wait. How do you know the Mario movie is going to be bad? Because I have a funny feeling. When we mentioned the Super Mario Brothers movie back in the 90s, I have a funny feeling Nintendo's learned a lot of lessons off of that movie.
I hope so.
Not casting. They clearly didn't learn how to cast. And that's not to take anything away from John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins, because both of those guys are fucking legends.
Mm-hmm.
He played Tybalt, or Leguizamo played Tybalt, and Hoskins played Smee and Hook. They're amazing. They were given crap.
Yeah, all I'm saying is we don't know yet. We can roll our eyes and groan about it, but shit. If it's better than Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, I'll be happy.
Man, why am I the one that likes that movie?
I don't bet. I don't like to gamble. I don't like to do that shit. I would bet you that movie's not going to be good. And I will happily hand over money when it's good and I'm wrong.
Stoy,
I like movies. I like film.
Stoy, how much money should I have this man? How much money should I have this man put down? Because I'm not saying the movie's going to be good, but I'm saying that it's probably going to be better than we anticipated.
It will not, but it's going to make money.
I mean, I'm kind of on Chris's side on this one.
It's casting.
So I don't.
Casting.
I mean, okay. All respect to Keegan Michael. What's his name? Keegan Michael, whatever. Yeah,
Keegan Michael Key. Yeah,
that man is playing Toad. His talents are being wasted on Toad.
Yeah.
What on earth are they thinking?
Yeah, Charlie Day is Luigi.
Charlie Day is Luigi. I mean,
it's like they went to Google and went, all right, who's been in a movie the last 5 years? And it's literally everybody who's been in a movie in the last 5 years. It just wasn't avant-garde enough for Timothée Chalamet.
I will give them props if this movie comes out to be PG-13. I would love to see this with the acting that they, with the actors that they have in this.
Are we talking? Are we talking about Streets of Rage? Or are we talking about?
Man, we haven't talked about Streets of Rage in the last 20 minutes. We've just been on this Mario thing. So
it always happens.
It's going to be PG. It's going to be PG-13. It's a fucking Nintendo property. It's going to be PG-13.
No, it ain't. It's going to be PG, but I want it to be PG-13.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, it probably. It's either going to be PG.
Streets of Rage is going to be rated R. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope. I mean, they could make it. They could make it PG-13 if the fight sequences are really, really good and very visceral. We don't have to have blood in it. I just want to see some really good martial arts choreography in the Streets of Rage movie. I really, really need that.
I just want Sega to have played the long game and be really good at making a fuck ton of money making movies for Nintendo just to be dog shit at it.
Yeah,
I loved Sega back in the day.
Well, yeah, because
I came home and played the Sonic games because of that.
In the article, the same studio is going to be making video games for Shinobi. Apparently, Shinobi movies in the works. Altered Beast, that movie. There's a movie based on that in the works. Sega's in. Sega's going to make basically a Sega multiverse.
I'm kind
of like Marvel.
All for it.
Yeah,
I would like Sonic to show up in Altered Beasts. I'm for that too.
I mean, it's really interesting. It is. I will have my eye on this. I'm a fan of the Streets of Rage series, and I'm a fan. And if they have the same talent behind the production of Sonic the Hedgehog, well, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, I guess who did the first movie? It wasn't DJ2 Entertainment?
It was, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, with the name they have attached to the writing, the only way it can really be fucked up is casting and the director.
Man, it's weird how casting is important.
For fight choreography.
Casting is fucking important because
it really is.
Because one thing that I love that they definitely did a misstep on was the Ghost in the Shell movie. I love the franchise, and we had Scarlett Johansson playing Motoko Kusanagi. Yeah. I'm just gonna say that Scarlett Johansson, Motoko Kusanagi. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
It's about casting. There's some actors you can give any role, and they're going to be really, really good at it. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure you could just watch Morgan Freeman exist, and he'd be great. I would watch Gregory Peck just wander around just to see
who could Morgan.
I would pay hundreds of dollars to see Denzel Washington play the role of Adam in the Streets of Rage movie. I mean, that man is old, but he could act and do anything.
Yeah, dude, for real. He was just about to say Macbeth.
Yeah, he just man played a Shakespeare character. Hell yeah.
All right. So just to wrap up here real quickly on the Streets of Rage movie, no details are available at the moment on the story and the characters, but as Stoy put out in the article, be sure to expect Axel, Blaze, and Adam to dish out the pain when the film comes out. We've already talked about our excitement for this film, so I guess we're going to leave it up to the audience. Hey, let us know in any of our places that we chat at PS_Crossroads, Discord, wherever we're at. Like, let us know. Are you excited for a Streets of Rage film, or are you filled with cautious optimism, like some of us are? You know,
this is one of those times we need one of those buttons that you press and it goes because he just kind of was like trailing off, like he wasn't sure what he wanted to say.
Mm-hmm.
We love you. We make fun of you out of love. We want you to be better, so we treat you like dog shit when you fail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like I would be better if certain people just didn't get in my way. If certain people,
I'm in your way because I'm your piggyback.
Also certain people just came through a little more consistently. You know,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right. Well, we said this is going to be a banter-ish episode of Crossroads, and we mean that. Like, if you head over to bossrush.net, like there's a section of the website that's just devoted nothing to Boss Rush banners. These are the weekly like mini editorials that come out from the various people on the writing team. Stoy and myself, we are on that writing team. Stoy, I haven't done a Boss Rush banner yet. Have you?
Yeah, and I opened up that I was the one that opened up in the chat. I hate it. I hate my banters, and I'm embarrassed by them because I sometimes with banters, like I have to get myself in the right frame of mind, because what I'm bantering about is I'm trying to banter from a certain perspective, and I want to, and David Lasby, our chief writer, says it has to be in the form of a question. So you have to kind of force a question on the people to make them question it. So, like, say for example, my most recent one was about, like, why can't we just shut up and play video games? That one. I wrote that article.
You got. Hold on. Stop. You got to back up for a second.
Okay.
Because your internet paused. So you were talking about how it's got to be a question.
Yeah. As soon as you're done with that, I'm going to teach LeRon about sarcasm.
Okay. So basically, yeah, like the article was titled, why can't we just shut up and play video games? Like, why do we have to kind of pick fun at each other because we can play a game?
The fucking most fun.
Stoy, I hate to tell you this, but it happened again.
All right, man. I don't know.
Oh man,
I don't know. I mean, my internet seems to be fine. I guess I can't. I mean, I don't know.
It's got to be a cliffhanger. You have to tell us next time.
Tell us, okay. But you've done a couple of banners though. Like, which ones did you do again? Because didn't you do one? Didn't you do one that pissed off the gaming community?
Yeah, when I said video games are not art.
Are not art. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I still stand by.
You knew what you were doing when you did that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I knew. But what it was meant to do, it was meant to bring a conversation to the table. Yeah. It was meant to bring a conversation to the table. Yeah. And it didn't.
All I want to do is sit here and talk to you about it.
Yeah.
It's a good topic. It's a great topic.
Well, we've got a few topics here. Like we're not gonna get all deep and philosophical on them, but I checked out today's banter from David Lasby, which is what's the longest you waited for a video game to release? And actually, Stoy, you actually mentioned it, and I was like, you know what, this is perfect because it kind of put me on this whole trajectory of like, let's just make a banter episode for this episode of Crossroads. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna we're gonna go ahead and start with this one from David Lasby, which is What's the longest you've waited for a video game to release? I'm just going to quickly paraphrase some of the stuff that David released in there. Links have been provided in the Twitch stream chat. Check them out. And on Thursday morning when you go to check out the editorial from the Crossroads episode, these links will also be provided in there, so you can go straight to it. In the April 18th edition of the Boss Rush banner, David Lasby wants to know what's the longest you've waited for a game to release. With the recent announcement of the delayed release of the sequel to Breath of the Wild, many fans are feeling frustrated, burnt out, or simply soured about the game. Their reactions are understandable because we get hyped for a game's release, and when it gets pushed back, it's simply hard to stay excited, especially with so many other fantastic releases to steal our attention. That is true. David mentions, and you know what? If you go over to the bossrush.net website and you check out some things about David Lasby, you will immediately find out that he's a Legend of Zelda fanatic. So yes, he's one of those people. And aliens, yes.
And aliens.
Yes.
Yep.
So he's one of those people that he definitely did feel that punch to the gut when they said Breath of the Wild, the sequel to Breath of the Wild, would not be coming out this year.
And I laughed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, David, but I laughed. I laughed at your expense.
So David talks about growing up and playing like The Legend of Zelda, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. As he became an older, more mature gamer, games like Aliens came out. Aliens: Colonial Marines, which, whew, anyway, and then there's Aliens Fireteam Elite and stuff like that. But he goes to sum it up by saying, like, beyond his personal experiences, he knows that fans of many other franchises have had brutal development cycles for games that they feel passionate for. And, he brings up games like the next 3D Metroid game, like Metroid Prime 4, whenever the fuck that's coming out. Because I feel like they announced that 5 years ago. They announced that the first year the Switch was out, right?
I almost feel like they did like a year or two after they announced it.
Yeah. And, it's even more frustrating because, like, we had a banger of a game, Metroid Dread, come out last year, and now it's just drummed up more hype and excitement for it and stuff like that. So so guys, let's talk about this. What's the longest you've had to wait for a game release?
Kingdom Hearts 2 to Kingdom Hearts 3.
Ooh, you chose violence.
To it. That was
you chose violence today.
I did choose violence today because I waited for fucking ever for that game for them to give me fucking bullshit. I played like hour and a half into it. Now I was like, I don't remember what's going on because it's been for fucking ever.
Okay. So just so people know some things, I'm actually going to tell you right now the Kingdom Hearts release date.
Kingdom Hearts 2. I think there was a Kingdom Hearts in between 1 and 2, wasn't there?
Trust me, I'm gonna get there. Let's see. Kingdom Hearts.
I wanted to go with Duke Nukem Forever just because I know that game took forever.
Well, that game got canceled though.
No, Duke Nukem Forever eventually came out.
Well, no. It got canceled, and then like a decade later, a company was like, "We bought the rights to it." Yeah, we bought the rights to it. We're gonna bring it out for you guys. Okay, so Kingdom Hearts 2 released on December 22nd of 2005. Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out 2 console generations later, January 25th, 2019. 14-year gap. Like, it's insane. It's insane. Stephanie and I wrote an entire article called Kingdom Hearts, How Kingdom Hearts Has Broken Our Hearts, and stuff like that. And we talked about some of this stuff, but man, it was a travesty, what happened, because if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, a lot of you remember the executive production team saying we can't finish the Kingdom Hearts series on PS2, but it will be done on PS3.
Yeah.
We thought it died. We thought it died on PS3 because it never came out.
Yeah, I loved those games. I did everything. I had everything in them, and now they announced a 4, and I don't give a single fuck.
Yeah, I don't.
My body that gives.
I don't give a damn.
Did you even finish 3? Did you finish 3 at all?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I didn't even get into it. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah,
I couldn't remember. I didn't want to go all the way back and have to play through both of those games that were massive. and then have to play through all the little bullshit games that they told us we didn't have to play because they were like little side stories.
And then surprise, we had to play them. Like, to their credit though, Birth by Sleep was a wonderful game.
That I didn't have a system to play it on.
Yeah. Birth by Sleep for the PSP was amazing. I enjoyed that game.
Okay.
Stoy? What's the longest you've waited for a game release?
Well, Streets of Rage for one.
You mean Streets of Rage 4?
Well, Streets of Rage 3 to 4.
Streets of Rage,
because for generations, it was like, man, I hope they could continue the series because Sega claimed it wasn't dead, but they kept hanging it out there.
One.
Yeah,
that's a damn good one. Because here's the trivia for you: Streets of Rage 3 came out March 17th in '94. Streets of Rage 4 came out April the 30th of 2020.
Yeah.
So 16 years, man.
That's a long time. I mean,
yeah. And you know what? But you know what's crazy though? Like fans released a Streets of Rage 3 game that basically had remix versions of Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3 all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it is so good that Sega put out a cease and desist on that. Did
you see that there was a Streets of Kamurocho little game? Yeah, that they released in I think in anticipation of a Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Oh wow!
And it was on Steam for like a very short period of time. Like I don't think you can buy it because it was a free game, and it was literally Streets of Rage 2, same music, same sound effects, everything, just with 2 characters from the Yakuza series as characters that you could go through, and like it was so amazing.
It was called the Streets of Rage remix. That's what it was. The reason why I know it's called Streets of Rage remix is because like I was one of the people.
Chris, did you think was he listening to anything I was saying?
No.
He was super into whatever he was talking about.
Okay, cool. All right. So long as it wasn't.
I heard you.
But thank you. But yeah, so that was
you guys all the time. I just try to keep the show going. I just try.
That was
by not listening to anything we say.
Yeah. We gotta have banter. But that was a free download, I remember. And that was about as close to like Streets of Rage as we got, I think, besides the Streets of Rage remix. But I mean, I don't think that's real because I think the longest I really waited for something besides Cyberpunk, because when they announced that to when the game came out to when the game was actually playable was a very long time.
Wait. How? I forget. Cyberpunk got announced when?
A few years ago.
They announced it, like, the first trailer came out, I think, right when they finished The Witcher 3. Yeah. They released like a kind of like a short little like teaser trailer to say this is our next game. They didn't peg a release date, but like I think it was like years before we got to see anything significant from it.
I just watched the Streets of Kamurocho. That shit looks good.
Yeah.
That shit looks good.
No, it's solid. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's downloadable on Steam, but I mean, I kept it on my hard drive so I could play it whenever I want. But yeah, so that's so I've been waiting, I guess, shifting gears again. I've been waiting a long time for Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
A long time. And finally, as of a couple weeks ago, that wait is over.
Well, let's see if we if The Witcher 3, because Wild Hunt is basically the complete edition of The Witcher, right?
So the Cyberpunk 2077 teaser trailer that we got came out in 2013.
Yeah.
We waited 7 years for this game to come out.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I was looking to see the. So I mean, that's not bad though. That's not bad. Honestly,
it's pretty terrible when it came out.
That's terrible.
It wasn't playable.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not discounting that, but I'm just saying, like, as far as like a lengthy gap, like it's not. That's more digestible than a decade and a half.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because
but I mean, it's not like Sega announced Streets of Rage 4 is coming out.
and then just never released it.
Yeah, like they said the franchise wasn't dead. Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 3 was like kind of like the running joke. When are we gonna get Kingdom Hearts 3? Just like Star Fox was another one.
It wasn't a running. It wasn't a running joke to the fans. Like, man, like have you met a Kingdom Hearts fan?
Yes, I know a few Kingdom Hearts fans.
I used to like those games, and then they ruined it.
Yeah,
ruined it with bullshit is what they did.
Well, another one. I know I keep hijacking, but Star Fox.
Yeah,
we got Star Fox Assault for the GameCube, and then they completely skipped the Wii, and then it came time to the Wii U, and we got Star Fox whatever tablet wars.
They did release Star Fox 2 on that Sega or Super Nintendo thing, and then it eventually made its way to the console.
I think we got like Star Fox 3D.
So wait, we're talking. Okay, so Stoy, you're talking about the fact that we're still waiting for the next Star Fox game, right?
Yeah, like Star Fox 2.
Yeah, like another Star Fox. But I was initially talking about how long the wait was from Star Fox Assault that came out on the GameCube to when we got it on the Wii U, and it came out like hot trash.
Yeah.
I was trying to look up. That's another. Star Fox is another franchise I don't keep track of, because let's see, Star Fox.
Why would you?
Star Fox Assault came out. Star Fox Assault came out February the 14th, 2005. And I guess we're still waiting for a game now, aren't we? We're still waiting for the next game, right? Because like when I go to Google, like the first thing that comes up, people also ask, is Star Fox discontinued?
Well, no, there was Star Fox Zero came out for the Wii U.
Star Fox Zero, and
that came out in 2016.
Yep, April 21st, 2016. So wait, but Zero means it's a prequel.
Not really.
Yeah. I mean, like when we think about it, but yeah. Have any other games? I mean, this is a good conversation so far.
That's it. That's all I can think of.
That was all I could think of, really. I'm still waiting for Silent Hill to come out.
Breath of the Wild 2. That's about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've I
got one for you. Well, I guess if I would say Majora's Mask to
Wind Waker.
And I didn't even like Wind Waker, so I didn't even play that one.
What?
Yeah, I skipped that one.
And went to Twilight Princess. I want to go back and play Wind Waker. Is the sad part.
All right, so Wind Waker's release date was in December 13th of 2002. So we take that from Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask was probably 2000. It really seems like only 2 years.
2000, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, that wasn't that long.
That wasn't that long. But I didn't really like Wind Waker, so my thought would be, for me, it would be from that to Twilight Princess.
The Twilight Princess?
I did not like that they I loved what they did with Ocarina and Majora's Mask, and then they changed that shit with...
Twilight Princess wasn't even that far off. Guess what year it came out? In comparison to Wind Waker.
2005?
In comparison to Wind Waker, it's probably like 2006.
2006.
2006, okay.
Yeah.
And then after Wind Waker is Skyward Sword. That was like 2009.
I'll be honest for you, because I'm not a fan. I wasn't a fan.
I didn't like Skyward Sword either. I didn't like the motion controls.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the 3D the 3D Zelda games that got introduced in the Nintendo 64 era.
I know.
So
yeah, we all know.
If we're gonna,
we all know that you're wrong.
Oh my god.
We love you.
You know what? I'm almost about to say something, but I'm not trying to ruin your announcement later.
Yeah.
So in all honesty, if we look at me, using your example, how you like basically skipped games because you didn't like the look of a certain title.
Yeah.
Like Link to the Past came out, which is one of my favorite Legend of Zelda games in '91.
Was that 91?
November 21st, 91. Legend of
Shit.
Zelda: Link to the Past. Yeah, because these games, because like we went from Link to the Past to Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I wasn't really a fan of those. The next time I would get a game that in the Zelda series that I wanted was Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap.
I was gonna say it was either Minish Cap or A Link Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds was pretty nice too, but a Minish Cap was like the spiritual successor to Link to the Past, honestly. And that came out November of 2004. So what we're looking at what? Like a 13-year gap?
Yeah, 13 years.
Yeah.
I would say it sounds like Nintendo is very guilty of this, because I can think of like 5 other different franchises that
Metroid.
We're still waiting on Metroid, F-Zero.
And we're not even talking about Metroid Prime 4. We're talking about the gap between because it
was Other M.
Yeah.
It was Other M. I mean, I'm not talking about Samus Returns for the 3DS.
Yes,
but
because Samus Returns was a remake.
That was a remake, yeah. But we're talking like Other M for the Wii.
Yeah.
To
Same
Metroid Dread.
From Other M to Dread.
Yeah.
So let's see. Metroid Other M release date was 2000 August 31st, 2010. So if we go to Dread,
that's like 11 years.
Yeah.
11 years.
Yeah.
That sounds like an issue. They put a
Metroid...
they dump a boatload of time into.
Hold on. That was 2021.
Metroid Dread was last year. Yes.
Yeah. Well, no. I lost track. What was Other M again?
You said 2011.
2010.
Yeah.
2010.
11 years? 11 years, yeah.
Donkey Kong Country.
They're never making another one of those.
Last one they did was for the Wii U.
They're never making another one of those.
But why not? Those games were great.
Yeah, the Wii U one was actually great. Frozen Mountain or something like that, or
yeah. I think that was it from Donkey Kong Country 3 to that Wii U game.
Yeah.
Because those games were great.
Yeah.
I loved those games.
Yeah, and the last time we got F-Zero was in the GameCube era. Kid Icarus. I don't think Nintendo really gives a shit about that anymore. Actually, Mega Man. That was another one.
Woo! Okay, so how do we date this? Do we date it from Mega Man 10?
Mega Man 10 to Mega Man 11.
Okay, Mega Man 10. Mega Man 10's release date was March 1st, 2001. And then Mega Man 11 was
like 2018
October
or something.
October 2nd, 2018.
Yeah, so that's a long time, man. Woo.
Yeah, well, that's because honestly, like Capcom didn't even know what the fuck to do with that. Keiichi Inafune was gone.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we got 8-year gap right there.
Well, he wasn't gone. He was just, he moved on to other projects, and I think that's what Capcom did. Capcom just moved on with other projects to do other things.
No, if I'm not mistaken, Keiji Inafune.
Yeah, I know Keiji Inafune. He went on to start his own studio.
Konami did to Kojima. They kind of forced him out.
Yeah, well, because he was talking shit the whole time. Yeah. You talk shit about your own company publicly, like you're gonna get forced out.
Yep.
Eventually.
Yeah.
And this just makes me think that there's so many games that we need to get stuff, just anything for.
Yeah.
Well,
Nintendo also, they did Eternal Darkness. They did one game.
Yeah.
They haven't even re-released that game.
I would
love to play it.
I don't think there was any plans to make that game a series. I don't think there was.
I know, but I'd like to get a re-release. Maybe put it on a console somewhere I can buy it.
Yeah.
Nintendo's longest foray into horror titles is Luigi's Mansion. And that's sad because that's not a horror game.
Well, they had Fatal Frame for a little bit on the Wii U.
Yeah, but that wasn't originally a Nintendo franchise though.
No, not originally. No.
Yeah, like they just allowed it to be published on the system.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I have a follow-up question, and we can move on. Then we can do one more banter, and then we're gonna get out of here.
All right. Cool.
Do you think that they should that when we look at all these gaps in between games, Kingdom Hearts 2 to 3, 14 years, Streets of Rage 3 to 4, 16 years, Cyberpunk from his announcement, Cyberpunk from his announcement was more like 8 years. Like if I'm not mistaken, CD Projekt Red said it was like an 8-9 year process to get this game out, Legend of Zelda Minish Cap from Link to the Past, 13 years. Metroid Other M to Dread, 11 years. Mega Man 10 to Mega Man 11, 8 years. Here's the question, because and Mega Man kind of sparked this for me. Do you think that sometimes it should be just better to let the franchise die? If they're going to take if they're going to take so long, it's almost like they don't have ideas anymore. Because like we're in a day and age now where a good sequel for not a good sequel, but a sequel for a game usually comes out in 3 to 4 years from the previous game's release. So when we get past the 7-year mark, should it be a situation? Because look at how long people were waiting for Final Fantasy 15.
Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah, that's another one.
Well, I feel like the Grand Theft Auto series and Red Dead Revolver series is like there's a completely different conversation, because like it's not even that they're taking their time; they're just not developing it. that's
no, they're not. They just keep putting out the same game because people keep buying it. Is the thing.
Yeah, they keep making
we got
money off
Grand
the
Theft
same
Auto,
game, so.
the trilogy, the definitive edition.
Yep.
Did we really need that?
No. I think with games like Mega Man, to kind of like go with your point there, Mega Man has a nostalgia value to it that other games may not have. You can put out a new Mega Man game that's exactly like Mega Man 1, and you'll be okay. People are going to buy it because they like that kind of... Like, if somebody told me they were putting out Sonic 5 tomorrow, I'd buy that shit in a second.
Yo, but you know what? That's the thing about it, though. That was the magic of, like, when Mega Man 9 and 10 came out, and it was like, we're going back to the old 8-bit style. I can't speak for everybody else, but I went nuts, and I bought that shit.
Yeah, I played it. I bought it too. I knew they were still making them.
I went nuts and bought that shit. Like Streets of Rage coming out, Streets of Rage 4 coming out, looking like it did. Fucking amazing, because like immediately they could have just made something that looked very modern to today's look and feel of games and stuff like that. They could have easily made Streets of Rage 4 look like Uncharted. They could have if they wanted to. But the fact that they were like, we're gonna stick to something tried and true. Perfect.
Kids appreciate that shit too. They do. Like I see them play a lot of old school. Like my kids on their computer playing like 64 games and shit.
Shredder's Revenge is getting ready to come out, dude. The fact that it looks like the fucking cartoon / arcade games.
Yep.
Fucking amazing. Stuff like that.
When is that game coming out? What's the release date on that?
June, right?
Sweet. I also need the Cowabunga collection.
No idea. Yeah. Man, that Cowabunga collection, that collector's edition is too expensive.
$150 for not a lot of stuff. I was sitting there I looked at it like 4 times today, and I was
I'm sorry. Shredder's Revenge has no official release date yet. Just says 2022.
Yeah, I was going to say it doesn't have a release date.
And I was looking at it, and I was like, my wife will flip her shit if I buy that for $150. I want it so bad. So bad.
And the Cowabunga collection technically doesn't have a release date either.
No, I won't.
Because it's listed as December 31st.
I'm trying to figure out what I want to buy those on. Like I'm tempted. I know I'm going to have to get at least Shredder's Revenge on a system I can play with other people, but I like playing old school games on my Switch.
Yeah, same. If there's ever like a re-release of a game, like I'm always grabbing the Switch version first.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I'm putting more and more thought into buying a Stream Deck. So games like these might wind up getting bought on the Stream Deck. Well, on Steam, so I can take them portable.
I mean, you could do that on the Switch.
That too.
I mean, it's up to you. Your money.
Yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing about it, though. Like it seems like games in the PC environment last a lot longer than games on the console environment. We already have a situation where we're aching and moaning about like PS3 and PSP games not being accessible on storefronts anymore and stuff like that.
Yeah. I suppose the PC environment that's a better ecosystem for games to kind of stick around.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and do let's go ahead and do one more banter here, and then
before I turn into a pumpkin,
and then we're done. Let's see. Let's pick one. Is Commander Shepard the best protagonist for those who want to roleplay? We've got that one. We've got, does the cancellation E3 2022 really matter? Or we have...
I'm down with that one.
I'm down with that one, actually.
Okay.
Which is surprising because, I'm skipping out talking about Master Shepard.
Exactly. Stoy and I can talk about Commander Shepard all night.
But this ain't the Mass Effect podcast. This ain't the Mass Effect podcast.
Yeah, we can save that.
All right, so let's talk about E3.
I look forward to it every year. It's the only thing. Go ahead.
Hold that thought. Thought. All right. So this one comes from Stephanie Klimov, my buddy on the Boss Rush podcast. Her answer from April the 1st was, does the cancellation of E3 2022 really matter? Once again, I'm going to paraphrase this. Links to the article are in the Twitch chat right now. Back on April the 1st, news had recently broke that E3, the long-standing trade event in the video game industry, had been canceled for this year. While the COVID-19 pandemic is still preventing major in-person events from occurring, the ESA, which stands for the Entertainment Software Association, has decided to also scrap the idea of a digital event, citing that they would be allocating their time and resources for 2023, alluding to that there's going to be an event in 2023, basically.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Aside from the standard uproar from the internet, one has to stop and ask, does this really even matter? So, guys, we probably touched on this back, a few weeks ago when this got mentioned, but it wasn't an actual PlayStation news article at the time because we weren't at the Crossroads podcast yet. So we didn't really spend that much time on it. So, guys, does the cancellation of E3 2022 really matter? Like, let's go on this. Chris, you had words, so I'm gonna let you start first.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter. They do state of plays and they do stuff throughout the year, which pretty much takes the place of E3 anyways. I, in particular, like E3 because I like to watch it with my wife. Me and her have watched it every year since we got married. Like, if they've had it, me and her watch it. We pick out the different things, and that's what we like to do. It's like a weird... She's not as into video games as I am, but she sees stuff that she likes, and sometimes she likes to, she ends up getting stuff that she sees up there.
Yeah. Okay.
That's about all. That's all about all.
Okay. I figured. Story, what say you?
It is sad that it's going away because, I looked forward to that too, watching the conferences and watching to see what would be dropping in terms of trailers and gameplay footage and stuff. But nowadays, with the day of the internet, like E3 hasn't evolved in the last 5-7 years.
Yeah.
So we knew like their numbers were tanking. I knew they were in trouble when they invited the general public to it. When they opened it up to the general public, which I think they should have done a long time ago. But I think E3 needs to change dramatically in order for them to be relevant in this current climate.
I'm glad you mentioned like when they let the general public in. I think that was the magical thing about E3 that doesn't click with people. Like when it was a press and the VIP event, that's also when I also think that, like the big companies back then, Sega, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, they had a bigger investment in it because it was a press event, and I know I'm about to trigger some people when I say this word. It's not, you're not letting all the mouth breathers on the venue, so, and also these companies are able to better control the work because overall, this is an event for, let's just say this is an event for gamers, but this is also an event for investors. So these companies want to control the narrative that comes out of it. So that's why the press and, the press, people that are in the know about this stuff were part of the thing, because if they turn around and say, hey, I guarantee you, remember the whole debacle behind Watch Dogs? Remember how pretty that game looked at E3 and then we didn't get that? I guarantee you there were probably people on the floor that saw it, and the first thing that they got told by Ubisoft was, hey, this is what the game's looking like right now. You can't talk about it. If you talk about it, we will sue.
Yeah.
it's a lot harder to control your own narrative when you've got John Q. Public, at your event. Because John Q. Public doesn't have a professional stake in it. Like
they have a Twitter and a Facebook account.
They have a Twitter and Facebook account.
They can live tweet out everything with the click of a button on their camera phones.
Exactly. Whereas us guys, we're Boss Rush. That
means nothing. We're not professional.
Nothing. That means nothing right now until we get our very first press pass. Then it's going to mean something. It's going to mean that whatever Konami, Capcom, Devolver, Microsoft Studios, whatever they say, hey, we're letting you check out our stuff, but these are talking points that you can mention on your lives, on your articles, on your Twitter and stuff like that. Because guess what? They will come after us and they will pound our asses into the ground with lawsuits if we do anything. So that's one of the things. I wish I had these words together. A few weeks ago, back when this was a hot topic, because I think it'll help people, especially our listeners, understand some things. I like E3, but when that year that Nintendo said we're not having the press conference at E3. I knew that was the beginning of the end right there.
Yeah.
Because the next year, Microsoft and Sony said deuces.
Yeah.
And Microsoft was like, we'll be across the street this week. Sony is like, we're doing our own thing, stuff like that. Nintendo does this hokey pokey thing because they had the Treehouse event and stuff like that. But Nintendo's been playing this little dicey little game, and this is not me being critical of Nintendo, because I swear to God, everybody seems to think I am.
He hates it.
I can be, but I'm not tonight. But basically, the video game industry is just like a lot of other industries. They have a lemming mentality. As soon as one group does it, everybody else does it. And so when I saw that Nintendo was like, we're not coming back to E3 this year, Sony and Microsoft was like, hey, if they can do it, we can do it too, stuff like that. It just kind of happens, So at the end of the day, Stoy, like I said, you hit the nail on the head when you said that the moment it became open to the public, that was another change. That was another change in the times, stuff like that, things like that.
It's an exclusivity thing. It was a privilege. They would give it away at for GameStop employees.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, GameStop. Chris and I work for GameStop, and GameStop used to have its own. GameStop used to have its own version of E3. We had the managers conference where basically it was a big video games event and trade show for GameStop corporate and stuff like that. We got that retro code in our chat right now. It's just saying Nintendo did it for the conferences and not for E3 itself, which is true. They did. That is true, because they did have a presence at E3. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that us guys, back when E3 was a VIP event, we learned about everything these companies are doing from the press conferences and the press releases and stuff like that. We knew that there was a big old floor show and stuff where people got to try demos and stuff like that, but it was never a focus. Back when this stuff was being printed in magazines, it was never a focus about the stuff that was on the floor. It was a focus on the stuff that they saw at press conferences and press releases.
Yeah, that was the important part.
So that's another thing that changed with E3 once it became open to the public. When it became open to the public, companies changed how they were putting their stuff out on the floor. Yeah, because remember, we were seeing all these crazy ass pictures of screens lined up, people playing the new Spider-Man game. Screens lined up, people playing the next Resistance game. Screens lined up, people playing bits of the next Halo game. Stuff like that. It was a completely different animal because the narrative changed, and we're not sure if gamers changed that narrative or if the companies changed that narrative. But like I said, at the end of the day, these companies have to keep their shareholders happy. I guarantee you, like I said earlier, if people said, nah, man, Watch Dogs don't look like that right after E3,
that wouldn't be against E3 though. That would be against Ubisoft.
True.
That would be against Ubisoft. I mean, the same shit happened to Sega with Alien Colonial Marines. And the same thing happened with Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And Cyberpunk wasn't even affected by E3. Reviewers were getting copies of the PC game and giving footage to use for gameplay videos. They weren't even allowed to even use like their own footage. So
Stoy, you and I should get together and talk about like the effects of reviewing games versus embargoes.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean,
embargoes, or we'll just save it for a Crossroads episode.
Well, yeah. I mean, when I wrote the review for Martha is Dead, I was given an embargo, but it was only a week because when I beat the game and wrote the review, I couldn't post the review for a week. Obviously, I had to post it in line with the release day. Which is no big deal. But
and you know what? That's another thing I will say. Embargoes, like, if you want to,
we're way off topic now.
Yeah, I know. If you want to know how good a game is, like, when you hear games announced, look and see if there's an embargo or review embargo out, and that'll give you an idea of like, should I spend my $60-$70 right now, or should I wait for it to drop below 30?
Well, especially in a lot of those cases, in a lot of cases nowadays, it's like there's always a big hefty update that happens on day one.
Yep. Because here's what I know for sure: they don't embargo games that are masterpieces right out the gate. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. They might embargo. What they will do, and like there are embargoes that are designed there to keep spoilers from getting out. There are those type of embargoes, but those embargoes happen, and usually what we always see in those reviews is like we can't talk about the story of the game, but we can talk about the action of the game. We can talk about what you're going to experience as you play the game, stuff like that. Yeah. So going back to E3, like I can say this, the fact that they announced that there's no E3 this year, I don't miss it. Like I'll be honest with you, like last year was kind of a treat for me, but that was the first E3 I'd actively paid attention to in years, to be honest with you, because in all seriousness, when Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo started doing their press conferences separately, we got State of Plays now, we got Nintendo Directs, we got the Microsoft, I think it's called what, Unpacked? No. Yep. Unpacked is somebody else.
No idea.
But basically, like once and we get a direct practically every 6 weeks for Nintendo. We get a State of Play almost every 2 months from Sony. We get whatever Microsoft wants to do, and I know I'm laughing and stuff. Like I'm not poking fun at Microsoft. Microsoft is legit in what's called a rebuilding phase right now. And not only do they have to rebuild, they have to like work up, because like they have all these companies under their wing now, like shit. Like Microsoft is approaching the too big to fail category now. Like, I mean, with freaking Activision Blizzard, with everything from ZeniMax, Bethesda, and stuff like that. I swear to God, if they grab like one more big mega corporation of games, game studios and stuff,
it's gonna be 1998 again.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. That retro code in the chat was like, it's Microsoft's Inside Xbox. That's what it's called. Yeah. But
thanks, Ed.
Yeah, but in all honesty, thanks, Ed. But in all honesty, like I just feel like we get more direct information. Pardon the pun. We get more direct information now from the actual studios and the publishers than we ever do from E3. Especially when you think about the one thing, like when E3 was like a big deal. E3 was once a year where gamers heard about stuff, and then everything else was like sprinkled. When I say sprinkled, I don't even mean like how we get video game news now. Shit, we can log on to YouTube and see something new, a new trailer for something that we didn't even know was coming. Stuff like that. Back in those days when E3 was an issue, like was a thing, like Ed says in the chat, E3 for us gamers was us reading the August issue of GamePro and EGM.
Yeah.
So the age of the internet ruined E3. That was the other thing. So like if we look at everything that stacks up, the age of the internet ruined E3. The big companies backing out of press conferences ruined E3. Them opening up to the public, messed up E3. But also, I mean, This is where I'm sound like a real asshole right now. Piss poor planning ruined E3.
It's a good point. It's not sounding like an asshole. It's calling it like it is. If that makes you an asshole, then you ain't wrong.
You're just being real.
Yeah. You guys have anything to follow up? I know I kind of like took all the air out of the room.
No, man, you're good. Like you're passionate about the topic, and you have at least compared to me, you have an experience with something like that. You're probably one of the better people to speak to it.
Yeah, we're running out of time anyway, so
yeah.
I'm very tired.
Like this show's wrapping up. Like I promised under 90 minutes, and I'm sticking to it tonight. All right,
I think we already passed over 90 minutes, pal.
No. We haven't passed over 90 minutes on the actual. Well, we barely passed over 90 minutes on the recording.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's cool though. All right, so real fast, couple of quick questions. Did the cancellation of E3 come as a surprise to you?
No.
It didn't come as a surprise to me. In all honesty, last year's E3 was not bad, but there was a few things in last year's E3 I thought they could have done better. In my opinion. But also, once again, like the problem was like a lot of the corporations didn't come back to E3 last year and stuff like that, and we felt that presence. Sony wasn't there at all. Like Nintendo had a presence, and we hear a lot of people on the internet saying Nintendo won, E3 last year, which is subjective, honestly. Like, yeah, they brought some stuff, and now we're sitting there wondering when the fuck is it coming out, because I'm still waiting for fucking Advance Wars.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I want to know where I can play Double Dragon and Battletoads. I heard it mentioned earlier, and I tried to Google it.
It's a Nintendo cartridge.
Where the fuck is my Breath of the Wild sequel? Stuff like that. Now
I knew it was.
Now I'm just being an asshole. Now I'm just being an asshole.
They put it out somewhere, right?
Retrobits.com.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, and Stephanie asked this question in the wrap up to the article. Will the absence of E3 even matter?
No.
I want to say no. Say no.
Because we're gonna get a state of play. We'll get it like the next week, and we're all gonna watch that.
We're gonna get all the events from everybody. I guarantee. State of play usually happens first, then direct, then whatever. Then if Microsoft's doing something, whatever they do, and then we have Square Enix will have something. As a matter of fact, Square Enix has already said they have something coming this summer for us. So usually Square Enix does something, that means Ubisoft does something. So yeah, get ready for a new Assassin's Creed game. Get ready.
I wonder what they're gonna do. Hannah's done with Valhalla. She realized she didn't roll credits, had to go back and then actually roll the credits.
Jesus Christ!
Now wants the expansions. I haven't bought them for her yet. I have to.
Oh boy, that's like an extra 80 hours.
I know. That's what I told her, and she was like, "All right." She doesn't have anything else. She beat that and then went on and played the Lost Legacy, the Uncharted one. That's the only one I haven't played.
It's a good one.
That.
All right, well, we can go ahead and wrap this up now.
Thank you. I'm very tired.
I know, man. You know what? Hold on. What the hell? Pen went dry. Okay.
It sounds like a personal problem.
I don't know.
I swear
it's not the pen, it's the paper. Okay. Well, everybody, that's been our show for the night. We want to thank you all once again for just coming in, checking us out, listening to us, all that jazz. We love you for it. Before we head out tonight, we want you to know how you can get connected and stay connected with us. You know what, Chris? I know you have an announcement, so I'm gonna let you go right now.
All right. So my life is super hectic right now. I'm very, very busy. It's why I've been almost non-existent on the show, just because we're going into testing with school. I have a whole bunch of other things. My kid's starting to get into things, so I'm stepping away from the show for a bit. I still have told LeRon I want to come back on as a guest because I fucking love everybody. I enjoy doing the show. I enjoy getting on here and getting to banter and shit with everybody and talk about things. I made a lot of good friends, so I want to stay around and actually do shit. It's just I can't do that consistently now, and the show is far more important than me coming on here and making fun of LeRon. So I want everybody to be successful.
Oh, thank you for that.
You're welcome. It's why I'm here. I'm pretty sure that's why you brought me on, was just to talk shit to you.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Well, then I've been reading the room all wrong for months.
Yes, you have.
No, he knows I love it. I love that I got the opportunity to do this. I worked with LeRon in 2008 for like a year, and we've been friends for 15 years since, and I love him to death. So I'm glad I got to do the show as much as I did. I know it's going to be few and far between now, but anytime LeRon calls me, I'd love to do it. But for those of you who want to stay in touch, and I'd love to stay in touch with everybody, you can find me over on Twitter at RealChrisTrue. I've got a couple other things going around. My band Hailing Ishimura, we are working on our first album. That's another thing that's occupying my time, is just getting that done and ready to come out at some point in the future.
All right, Stoy.
Well, I am also part of the EXP Cast, a video game podcast with the Boss Rush Network. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at EXP Cast, and then my personal Twitter at Stoy MKE8.
He just followed me the other day, and it was like the best.
Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't. It was kind of surprising.
Yeah.
All right. And as always, you can catch me on social media at Exodus803, EXODUS803. Don't forget, Wednesday nights, I am part of the Boss Rush podcast crew, along with Corey Durick and Stephanie Klimov. And then, do not forget, for Crossroads After Dark.
Crossroads After Dark or Crossroads After Dark?
Did I say Crossroads After Dark?
You did. I was actually about to ask about that because I want to go on that too. So.
This already feels like the After Dark version of Crossroads, but no, Boss Rush After Dark. Which if you want to know more about it, hit us up on Patreon.com/Boss Rush, and you'll learn more about it. You'll learn more about us and our guests that are on there. Stoy and I, we also headline the standard definition for Mass Effect. Dude, did we say if we're gonna include Andromeda in this yet, or are we still trying to get through Mass Effect 3?
I want to include Andromeda into it.
Okay, good.
I think it would be an interesting game to cover.
I need to re-download it then.
Yeah.
I need to beat it.
I mean,
all right.
You still got to get through 3, of course. So.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, which you know what, 3 is no problem for me. I actually enjoy playing 3.
Yeah,
so,
I love 3.
Yeah. And also, I'm also part of the standard definition crew for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which we're coming up real soon. We're going to be doing the review for Avengers.
Ooh,
so check that out.
Yay!
Yep. Since we were talking about banter tonight, and we were talking about Mass Effect, as far as like what Stoy and I do, check out the Boss Rush banner from Block's Gaming Reviews. Whether is Commander Shepard the best protagonist for those who want to roleplay? Also, another one that we may want you to check out is should video games withhold release dates until development is complete? That's from our good buddy Jack Bro. That's the March 30th edition of Boss Rush banner. There's always for real. There's always a lot of good things to talk about by heading over to bossrush.net to check out more editorials and shows from our ever-growing family of creators and contributors. And remember, there's our Discord. If you want to chat with us about practically anything, hit us up at the Boss Rush Network Discord. And Crossroads has a merch store. So yeah, check it out. This has been episode 78 of Crossroads PlayStation Podcast. I've been doing it for so long.
Almost. It's hard to break.
I know it's hard to break. I probably should be doing this well past episode 100. This has been episode 78 of the Crossroads Podcast. Come back and join us next week for another episode of Crossroads, where we will talk about more things in gaming and entertainment. And also, if you like the show, consider subscribing to the podcast and give us a follow on Twitch, and also share, rate, and review us wherever you check out the show. As part of the Boss Rush Games family, we want you all to go out there, have a good night, play games, be better, and we'll see you all next time. Gotta take it easy.
Bye.